Hey people, Infiltrator 3v3 Faction War. This is Fortuna Sanctum and Orks versus Chaos Space Marines. Blue Orky team, Annihilus with a Warboss, a melee hero walking through objects, very strong offense, disruption and support from the front lines alongside. Exterminatus is a Kommando knob, infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style, begins in ranged combat with a twin link shooter. Rounding off the blue team is Rostam with a Mekboy, teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat, brings some good damage and a bunch of Orky gadgets. Red Chaos, Rogal Dorn is a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive hero walking through objects and cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption. This is the Iron Warriors elite scheme. Alongside Redacted with a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Looks like the Iron Warriors elite scheme also recolored here. And rounding off the teams is Ural with a Plague Champion. Starts off with the damage of a time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support. On the east side against that Mekboy, with that colour scheme that I like. In the mid, looks like the Chaos fellas are maybe trying to double the Kommando knob there. A little bit of Doom Bolts action on the Sluggers, but not too badly. Looks like Annihilus is going to cap up this side before maybe flanking Redacted with triple Heretics, which is going to be fun. There's some Corn worship to get those CSM forward, plus 2 speed there. Infiltration worship for the Chaos Sorcerer and his Zinchian ways. What's going on east side? Got some Nurgle worship. Shooter Boy is getting a bit too close to Bolt of Fire and Power Armored Elbows. Mekboy teleports back to put some pressure back on. Sluggers are going to go in here, I think. Heretics still worshipping. They might break that worship to get into melee with the Sluggers. They could force melee combat with the CSM here. There's a War. Heretics a bit slow to join the fight, but they do join it, and they should be able to see off the Sluggers here. Oh, but here come more Sluggers with burners for Exterminatus. A decent light grenade throw there from Ural. Heretics do get away. CSM, I think, do get away clean. I think, yeah, they should be okay. Double CSM here for Ural. Plague Champion getting very low, and I think they're going to go down because the Commando's in retreat path and the Mekboy is teleporting up, and those guys do some good DPS with their default weapons. Down goes the Plague Champion then. There he falls. Mid turned red. Didn't see much help there from Rogal Dorn, but they did cap the mid at least, and these guys are on the west side trying to contest these 2 points. Sorcerer just hanging out with all of his heretics near the mid, which is a little bit weird, not trying to decap this because Annihilus was forced off. Back to the east side. Kommando in retreat. Chaos Lord looking for some Orks to split in half. CSM close to dropping a model, but Ural judged it well so far. CSM coming in here from Rogal Dorn. They should be meleeing these shooter boys. Mekboy comes into melee them with those stiff Ork left hooks of his and those overhead shooter smashes. CSM are no slouch in melee though, and they see him off. Not sure what these fellas are up to. Rostam getting them into trouble and they have to retreat. Did not lose any squads though. Shooter Boys there with a knob leader and Sluggers backing off. Maybe they can help defend this power. Meanwhile, on the west side, lots of Doom Blast all over the place and a stomp from the Warboss. Raptors on the field, those are Rogal Dorns. We might see the Cyborg implants for the big stomp against all these heretics, or maybe spiky armor. I think I'd prefer the big stomp, although spiky armor's got to be really tempting. You can kind of force stuff to attack you in melee by attacking it, because they will naturally defend themselves by attacking you back. We have an aspiring champion heretic squad here for Redacted. The others are still in their default state, and the Sword of Flame up for the Sorcerer. Vestments of the Warp 2 for some teleporting shenanigans. I think the Warboss is going down here. There's a stomp. Don't think they're going to get away though. Oh, they've gone for spiky armor. Sorcerer can surely just teleport, doesn't need to. Warboss goes down. Some Nurgle worship back on the VP for Ural. And we have some upgraded shooter boys for Rostam here. These purple coloured Orks. I noticed that Exterminatus and Annihilus, I think, both have the same colour scheme on their Orks, so that could be confusing. Are they both fully upgraded? Yep. Knob Leader and big shooters. You saw the battery pack heal there, Avataste from the Mekboy, and the Dagger big shooter on the way for the Mek. Just straight up more DPS, nothing else fancy about it. But I guess more DPS is pretty fancy. We've got Storm Boys on the field for Exterminatus. Warboss is revived and runs away, breaking stuff as he goes. That boss pole aura. Not going to be around for these double shooters. Fully upgraded for Annihilus. In the mid, it's already blue actually. Looking to catch some CSM unawares maybe. Look at this from Redacted. Triple aspiring champion heretics. This is going to be nuts. Lots of dead heretics I imagine in tier 1. And the coruscating flame there went... Oh, he put it on himself, the sorcerer, and then teleported into the double shooters. Got rid of them. Hard boys on the sluggers. These are Exterminatus' sluggers. That's a Warboss buff though. And the storm boys getting caught around this wall. No Doom Blast there. Some discipline. Don't always have to Doom Blast, especially when something's retreating. Sometimes it's better to keep your model alive for a future fight. Sluggers here chasing down the CSM. And with their burners, they are a threat. Should have kept the CSM together there, I think, Ural. If he sent them both into melee with the sluggers, they wouldn't have been able to deal with both of them. Might have got a model though, so maybe that's why they were hesitant. Chaos Space Marines are 66 requisitions reinforced. Sluggers are, is it 25? Maybe we'll see on Exterminatus here. These guys are gonna retreat. West side is swarming with red stuff. 22 for a slugger, so a third the cost of a Chaos Space Marine. Plague Champion's going to get revived. I don't think it's going to level the Chaos Lord though. No war gear for that guy. We saw the Blight Grenades already up on the Plague Champion. That was a Doom Bolts. Decent one, though it was shot into cover there. And there's that Boss Pole Aura for more health and some suppression resistance. 50% less suppression is quite a lot. West side is turning red. Raptors and CSM alongside each other. His 4 aspiring champion heretic squads. It's a lot of Doom Blasts and a lot of painful Doom Blast too. 389 to 477. Raptors go for the jump. Sorcerer is already in there, causing havoc. Coruscating Flame on himself. Here comes a whole bunch of Orks though. Warboss stomps. Could be a big fight here. Sorcerer just consumed a heretic, throws out the Doom Bolts. The shooter boys just got the hell out of there. Raptors went way too far forward, but they are saved. Perhaps a model saved there by the Doom Blasting heretics. Looks like the heretic horde has overrun the greenskins there, and they're on the power. Warboss is still around though, and with that spiky armor, that's a lot of damage. That was a special attack, I think, a pretty damn good one. The spiky armor does damage to all the surrounding units when he's struck in melee, so for triple heretics surrounding him, that's potentially very painful for those heretics. 363 to 477. Orks hold on to their VP and their power was not touched. Warboss dealing with all those heretics. Meanwhile, east side, they're on the Chaos power. Bloodletter's coming in though from Ural. Oh, looks like they dropped one of their CSM and they dropped their heretics. Look at all the death over here. Got caught. I assume they got caught by the sluggers at some point. Do you have electric armor? No, you have Abatay still. The battery pack. Ural CSM barely getting away. Bloodletters are demons with power melee weapons. Pretty damn dangerous. The Plague Champion with the fetid armor for Unholy Stench. West side turning blue again. Mid is also turning blue. What do you got, Kommando? Nothing yet on his fellow level 2 though. Death Dread on the way for Annihilus. There's the tier 2 for Exterminatus. Looks like Redacted is the last player to go. Spent power on Sorcerer Wargear. Icon of Zinch is queued up and spent power on those aspiring champions. And they're not cheap, 25 power to get one of those guys up. CSM here with an aspiring champion and Eternal War, so they could pop Slaughter maybe. Although it starts on cooldown when you get their aspiring champion. Sluggers there with a Knob Leader. They are way more dangerous. What is this? It's the Armor of the Inferno for the Chaos Lord. Decent Doom Bolts there. This could be good against the Orc hordes, but here comes a Death Dread. They've got no answer to this thing. Havocs are on the way, which could be an answer potentially. This thing has the burners and bits. So we do have the extra health and those burners on front. Chaos Lord needs to choose a target. Oh, there it is. Let the galaxy burn. Kind of a random fireball pattern, but generally hit a reasonable blob pretty well. Sluggers are a big threat to the Chaos Lord. He's already used Kill the Weak. It's going on in the mid though. The Heretic Horde. How are they going to scale into tier 2? The answer, probably poorly. once those sluggers start getting levels, and the Storm Boys too, with their knob leaders and stuff, they should be able to mess up the heretics quite well. Not to mention potential Warboss supporting buffs, and you've got the Mekboy for the heal. Redacted has Havocs up, but they've got a las cannon and taking shots on the Death Dread. Hard anti-vehicle weapons, snaring targets, and doing big chunks of damage to large things like that Death Dread. And Ural has Havocs with a heavy bolter by default. It's a shrine on the eastern edge, and they've populated this power here. Mekboy teleports in to tie them up. They were suppressed anyway. Bloodletter's getting in and out on the shooters, tearing them up. I think the CSM are going for melee here. No upgrades for these fellas, by the way. Not even Eternal War in Tier 1. Power armored elbows though, more than a match for those shooter boys. Those guys still worshipping the shrine, which will reinforce if you are worshipping it. Are they worshipping it? Oh, they seem to be like off center there. They might be doing regular Nurgle worship. No, I think they are worshipping the shrine, because those guys aren't getting the health regen hexagons from the worship. They're reinforcing off the shrine because of the worship. Plague Champion has a Plague Sword. Viking of Tzeentch really messing up those shooter boys there with the Curse of Tzeentch. Some Doom Blasts. Shooter boys getting away. Bloodletter's getting caught here. Trying to get that power back. Didn't work out for those fellas. They're still alive. I thought they'd wiped, but I guess they were reinforcing off the shrine the whole time. Kommando now being chased by triple heretics. Might want to leave or chuck your stun bomb or something. Speaking of bloodletters, we have some blood sacrifice bloodletters here for Rogal Dorn. Warboss is ready to fight with his bang bang hammer. Hard boys on himself there briefly. Sees off the Chaos Lord. And those are Plague Marines being seen off by sluggers. Plague Marines will explode on death. Doesn't mean you want to lose models though. 363 to 375. Very close on VPs. Is that the Mekboy down? That's the Mekboy down on the eastern edge. Bloodletters are back to full strength. And we've got some Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines. Awesome. A level 3 already too. Lots of Daka. Heretics actually holding their own here so far in Tier 2. Doing some good work. Looks like the Storm Boys lost. Their Nob Leader hasn't been repurchased yet. What level are these sluggers? Level 2 and level 2. These Havocs really far up. And that's a Bomber Boy going in. Exploding. Also increases the jump range by 15 as well. That's quite a long increase. We saw the Black Grenade actually infecting the Chaos Space Marines there too. If you're in the initial explosion, you will get infected, friend or foe. After that, it will spread to stuff that's on the same team. So those CSM need to stay away from other stuff. Looks like it's passed. Sluggers, maybe they're looking for a power bash, but they're being chased by Bloodletters and CSM and a Plague Champion in melee. That's a tough fight. Might drop a model or two as they retreat. Looks like they got away clean. That's a Warboss getting very angry with a Sorcerer. Gonna go down to a Sorcerer. That Sword of Flame damage over time got it done. A bunch of Daka. Orks seem a little bit disparate here. They're not kind of fighting together. CSM fellas presenting a much more unified front, I think. But now we have a tank. So what the heretics think about that? Storm Boys on them. They have their Nob Leader. Sluggers seen off there. You have a zombie slugger because of the Plague Sword. There's the Black Grenade too. Does hit the CSM. They took a big shot from the tank. They might be chased over. Looks like the Havocs are getting a las cannon to fight the tank. Now there's another one from Rostam. The first one is Exterminatus's. Did Annihilus get any other units up? Did they go straight Tier 3? Uh-oh. They might take out the... Oh, that's unfortunate. The big boom shot just hit terrain there. What about this one? That one just didn't go off, apparently. Now the tank is freaking out. And there is an Imperial Abyss from Ural. That central part of the nuke there does 200 heavy melee DPS, I believe. So it's bad news for everything. But I think this tank is done for, maybe? Yep, tank goes down. There's a Rocks now. That wiped out the Havocs and should get the Shrine, does get the Shrine, almost got the Heretics. 305 to 353. Rogal Dorn is down to Plague Marines. Raptors, you see them littered around. Had some bad fights with the sluggers maybe. Rostam down to 2 units, so both teams with a player that's kind of depleted. Predator on the way for Rogal Dorn, and some commandos on the way for Rostam. Warboss also. Quarter of the way done or so. Here's a Nob squad from Annihilus. Getting Mina. Oh, Nob leader first. Fair enough. Oh, they already have Mina and Greener, that's why. Who's down in the mid? It's still the Warboss down. East side. They're still fighting over this power instead of just bashing it. It's going to be really hard to hold it for any amount of time, I think. Here comes another Nurgle Shrine from Ural. Bloodletters there just phasing out to avoid all the Daka. Not even demons, like Orky bullets apparently. They're now worshipping the shrine so they can reinforce off it. Get that 7% heal every few seconds too. Big boom shot for that disruption. They got suppression on hand. You can't suppress the demons though. Is it kicking off on the west? I don't think it is. There's a revive on the mid. I think that was Exterminatus, yeah, reviving the Warboss. The Mekboy is still down here. A united front from the Orks on the east side. Ural needs a hand. Redacted has the Phobos up. There it is. Can punt down the looted tank perhaps. Heavy melee headbutts there from the Nob leader of the Storm Boys. Nice to see. 252 to 351. What is this? This Odd Boy's up on a Nob squad, which is a scary thing to fight. Already insanely tough. The Slugger's wipe. That was killed a week. And the Chaos Lord has lightning claws. He's ready to fight those knobs. Not going to be able to do it alone, but does have some support. A Mark of Nurgle Chaos Predator for one. Even though, despite all of that, the Nob squad still get him. They're pretty tough. And they dropped 2 models though. They do have their hammers. Huge hammers. East side. Red team take their natural VP back. Phobos gets a rear armor hit, but only one. Oh, there's another. For some reason that wasn't a rear armor hit apparently. Didn't see the text for it. Anyway, 252 to 282. Flash kits are up with their blasters. That is Rostam. And the commandos are ready to chuck fire and stuff. And look at this. Rocket launcher commando. Revived the Mekboy, I guess. A really powerful anti-vehicle weapon. Look at the damage that commando's done already. That was 3 shots. Well, 2 shots and right in me crosshairs. But that's one hero that can infiltrate and shoot from range. Oh, there's a global buff. The more Daka, or is it Love the Daka? I think it's Love the Daka. The buff. More Daka is the commando thing, I think. That shrine will suppress things that get close. There's a Blight Grenade throw. It's a decent throw. CSM are in there though, so it's going to spread to all those heretics. It spreads to everyone. And the Rocks getting some good hits on the Phobos. I think they've got the Phobos here. Oh, commandos queued up, tied up rather. They did get the Phobos though, but I don't think the looted tank is going to get away. So regular Chaos Predator should be able to finish it off. One more shot. There we go. Looted tank does not get away. 217 to 279. Mayhem on the east side. I'm sure there's also mayhem over here. Nurgle tank is doing some decent work. Nob squad are going after it. Some late noise marines up here. Using their cacophony. It's one way to disrupt the Nob squad, I guess. They're not stopping though. The Nurgle Pred is tough and it does have melee resistance, but it still doesn't want a Nob squad swinging those huge hammers on it. Level 2 Predator over here already. 196 to 279. Shrine, and it's capped. Are they going to bash this power finally? Bloodletters are level 3. Another looted tank on the way for Annihilus. More Predator action too. For Redacted and Ural, who are both kind of depleted. Rostam has recovered. Rogal Dorn has recovered. Level 6 Sorcerer. Haven't seen a lot of pressure on this VP. I mean, there was at some point. Look at all this death. Raptors down and stuff there. So, certainly was pressure from Rogal Dorn over there. Just didn't see it. Flash kits doing their thing with those blasters. There's the Curse of Tzeentch. Uh-oh, teleports into death, I think the Sorcerer was trying to kill, and does kill one of the shooter boys. That's what happens when you're cursed by Tzeentch. Apparently this just started exploding. Predator here with the Mark of Nurgle. And we have an anti-vehicle Mekboy with a beamy death gun. Also got the custom force field for some defenses. Looks like he's taken down the shrine. And Kommando squad with that rocket launcher knob leader. Down goes the shrine. Heretics always seem so sad when the shrine is gone and just going to stand there shooting their pistols afterwards. Having a good time worshipping that. Stormboy jumping in with that knob leader who has had that heavy melee huge chopper. Got a lot of tanks to deal with now, fellas. Maybe some looters will hit the field, or tank busters or something. Chaos Lord level 5. Lost the indicator for him. It's a good target for Let the Galaxy Burn right there. There's the shot. Some good hits. Some good disruption too. Mob squad are still chasing, but they're very split up, and the nuke comes a little bit late from Redacted. That is a Tzeentchian Imperial Abyss. They all function the same, they just have different effects. That would have been a really, really good nuke if they hit them when they were hit by the fireballs there. Just a few seconds too late by Redacted. I just didn't spot it in time. I think they had the red. Here comes the 5th Predator on the field soon. Hunting down a looted tank. 174 to 229. Ouch. Blasters and shooter boys wrecking those heretics. They got away. Looted tank did not. And we do have a las cannon in the mid as well. Knobs all around, or some other kind of anti-vehicle. We still have the anti-vehicle heroes, of course, the Kommando and the Mech. Even the Warboss could get a heavy melee power claw, but looks like he's having fun with the bang bang hammer for now. Bloodlet is chopping up some sluggers. Light grenade thrown in. Day champion hits level 6. Mekboy was trying to hunt down the tanks, but these Mark of Nurgle tanks are pretty tough. Mark of Khorne there for Redacted. This one is unmarked. Both Mark of Nurgle for Ural and Mark of Nurgle for Rogal Dorn. Stormboy's jumping in and promptly retreating. 171209. That's a good rocks. Going to take out the shrine at least. Good hits on the tanks too. But there's nothing else to follow it up. A little bit more patience there. Maybe when the Kommando came back, or when the Mekboy came back, to then drop that nuke. Mid is red for Chaos. Chaos Lord has found the Kommando and gets rid of him. Knob squad are level 2, and here comes another one for Annihilus. Tank busters up for Exterminatus to try and get these tanks under control. There's another tank on the way for Rogal Dorn. We're going to see 6 Predators. Unless one dies very quickly here. 145, 209. Another shrine from Ural. Is like any shrines on this side. I mean, if your shrine baits a nuke every time, it's doing pretty well. Been 2 nukes, a nuke on each shrine so far, I think. CSM here with Mark of Tzeentch, and they're aspiring champion Orks though on the power. 134 to 209. Knob squad are fighting the Kommando. Sorry, the Chaos Lord. You saw how that went last time. Yeah, Chaos Lord falls over again. Full momentum buff on their hammers. You see those rings around them. It's 5% more damage per ring. You can get a 20% damage buff, or maybe even 25, just by getting enough hits in. They're really good stand-in and swing fighters. Plant their feet and just have a big old melee brawl. Knob squad love that. Unless it's Lightning Claw Terminators, of course. Sneaky Kommando. Gonna get one of them. The blasters, very impressive looking weapons, but they actually do very little to vehicles. But the rockets do really well. 2 tanks down, those were both Redacteds. Have they got a handle on these tanks now? Mekboy's facing the wrong way. Chaos Terminator's in. Now blasters are very good against these guys. The blasters do psychic PvP damage, which is bad versus vehicles, great versus heavy and super heavy infantry. There's a nuke from Redacted. And a pretty good one too. Took out, I think that was only Shooter Boys though that wiped. I think. 104 to 205. Warboss just marches through the abyss and then gets chucked out of it by the chains. Doom bolts messing with the sluggers, and that was a hell of a special attack then from the Sorcerer, level 8. Mekboy is revived. Warboss hits, level 8. Got his heavy armor now. Almost 2200 hit points on that fella. 2 tanks right in their face here from Rogal Dorn. Redacted down to heretics. And the Terminators went for an autocannon, not for claws, to fight the Knob Squad. Autocannon a bit more generalist. Can do damage from range against all targets. Get some of that demoralization going on if you pick something weak to shoot at maybe. Sorcerer now coming in to decap the mid after that rocks, which didn't hit much I don't think. But a single Plague Marine here with his missile launcher, missing his buddies. Late power bash here. Good way to get some XP for that tank maybe. Here's a battle wagon out of nowhere. Terminator's teleporting out. Double tank busters from Exterminatus, and we do have 2 Knob Squads on the field for Annihilus. Oh, nope, one of them got subjugated by the Sorcerer. I thought it died super fast. We've always got to look again when there's a Sorcerer around. Battle wagon is still chasing. You see those light bars, that means there's units inside of it, which allows more speed and all of the guns to fire. Only need 1 unit inside for that. Little bit of pressure on the VP, but not enough to decap it. Orks coming back for the mid. Chaos Lord chasing off some Storm Boys. How are those guys still alive? 82 to 169. Knob Squads need to do a lot of heavy lifting here. Battle Wagon's here to support. Mekboy is also getting shots in. One of those tanks is very low. Can the Mekboy get the last shot? It went down. I'm not sure what got the shot, but it did go down. Sorcerer doing some work on those knobs. Maybe we'll see the Robes of Torment on that guy. Still has Vestments of the Warp. It's level 9. Kommando getting shots in. Plague Champion has gone for the Plague Fist. 66 to 169. Tons of Daka from the Battle Wagon. It's done okay so far. Chaos Lord falls over again. That's the Mekboy down again too. 66. 169. 1-to-1 cap. They've got the other Chaos Predator, the Knob Squad, at level 4. There's a nuke in the mid from Rogal Dorn. That was Rogal Dorn's Predator that went down, I think. Uh-oh, Knob Squad have to retreat through it. That might kill him. Lucky to get away, I think. That guy was just off-center. Orks just had a great couple of minutes. Rogal Dorn and Redacted are very, very depleted now. Another Phobos on the way. Another Battle Wagon for Exterminatus and a late Weird Boy here. Can the Orks turn around the VPs though? It's not always easy to see how much damage you've done to the enemy. You know, they might not realise that Redacted and Rogal Dorn are this badly hit, and that they should push pretty hard. Look at this as well. Rogal Dorn has the wherewithal to get on the VP on the western side. Chaos Lord gets up and runs away. Sorcerer is down though over there. 62 to 140. The tank's being repaired slowly by the Plague Champion. Blasters are bad news for the Chaos Terminators there. Another Shrine up. Is that the same one? Might be. And they got the VP. They actually got it. Double cap now for Chaos. Have they done enough? Still going to be really tough, I think. The 2 Knob Squads from Annihilus are looking pretty mean. And here comes the Power Claw. I would have kept the Bang Bang Hammer, to be honest. You'd be potentially buffing 2 Knob Squads with it. Goes for the Claw. Can't stop 2 knobs, says Rogal Dorn. Yep, it's going to be tough. Has a lot of resources. Could try getting a Mark of Khorne Dreadnought, maybe. Still a big ask. Needs Terminators, really. Doesn't quite have the red for it. Needs Lightning Claw Terminators. 41 to 135. There's a nuke from Ural. Wiped out. Did that wipe out the flash kits? No, it didn't. They got away. That might have been a shooter knob that I saw go down. The Phobos is chasing the battle wagons. Meanwhile, Heretic trying to cap the mid. Is that the trophy rack? It is the trophy rack. Debuffing those guys there. 2-1 for Orks. I think they've got this now. Rogal Dorn needs Terminators. It's the Great Unclean One they've gone for. I mean, that'll hold... They'll soak up a lot of damage from knobs, but it will go down to 2 knob squads, especially with the Warboss nearby to support them. Chaos Lord goes after him, doing what he can, but he's gone down so often to the knob squads already. There's Kill the Weak, needs to use it to leave, and doesn't. Stays in to fight for Korn. There's that destructive strike, and now leaves. Oh, the Dirgecaster came in. One way to help control them, but they're going to chase it down now, aren't they? And there's Storm Boys here. They could jump behind it. Surprised they haven't already jumped behind it, actually. Battle Wagons also getting shots in. 41 to 92. Orks, I assume, are going to cap the mid here. Those Terminators are a long way from home. Down goes the Phobos. Redacted, how much red do you have? Again, not quite enough for Terminators. Powerclaw Warboss having a great time cleaving through those Terminators. Level 10 now. All the way back to base, the Knob Squad has to retreat. Where's the other fellas? They're also retreating. Did they overextend there? Have they left the Chaos team a little bit of a gap to come back in? There's still a bunch of stuff in the field, isn't there? Battle Wagon just charges into a wall. Very effective. Tank Busters are really going after this tank, aren't they? There's a Doom Bolts. Nicely timed Doom Bolts for those Tank Busters. Meanwhile, Bloodletters and Marco Zinc CSM. Oh, they're not really fighting the Storm Boys. Bloodletters just kind of let them leave. Trying to get over to the east side, I guess. Can the Flash Kits decap it here? Or maybe the Mekboy. Looks like the Mekboy is going to go for it. Plague Champion, level 9, coming in. Got his Plague Fist. Great capping tool. Terminator's having to teleport all the way back to base to escape those blasters. 41 to 72, kicking off in the mid, is it? There's a Great Unclean One here. Chaos are capping, they're still in this. 38 to 72. Very much still in this. Annihilus now has 3 Knob Squads though, and Exterminatus has 1. Getting their natural back. There's the 1-to-1 cap. Chaos Predator number 9 or something on the way for Ural. Plague Marine staying relevant late game for Rogal Dorn, getting shots on the Battle Wagon. Can the Great Unclean One hold this all off? Passively damages nearby enemies. Got some great abilities too. Terminator's coming in. Are those Rogal Dorns? They are. Surely they're going to get the claws. They have the resources for it. They should be getting them right now. 24 to 72. They would tear through these knobs if they had them. Knobs here being subjugated. Will also give them more health if they had them. I don't know why they're not purchasing the Lightning Claws right now. Terminators are getting messed up here. Having to teleport all the way back with a single model. 24 to 62. Orks with a double cap. Maybe a triple. What's going on the natural here? They're taking it back, our Chaos. Great Unclean One doing an amazing job holding all this army up. There's a Rocks. To try and kill those retreating guys, maybe. Great Unclean One is going to go down. But it's dying in a good place to stop caps here, because when it explodes it can do tons of damage. 24 to 45. Another Battle Wagon on the way for Rostam. Healing the Sorcerer there with the explosion. Level 10 Sorcerer. Are all the heroes level 10? They might be. Oh, level 7 Mech and a level 7 Chaos Lord and a level 9 Plague Champion. Not quite all level 10. Down to 17 VPs, the Orks. They're cutting this real close. Real close. Got that tank, the 2 Knob Squads here. And the other tank goes down. Tank Busters coming in. These guys still at base. And look at this from Rogal Dorn. On the VP. Chaos are not out of this. Big Marines being left to cap. Chaos Lord goes down, trying to get to the Shooter Boys. Heretics tearing up the Shooter Boys there. Level 4 Heretics. There's that more Daka Global. I think it reduces the cooldown of their weapons. Stock Boys jumping in with the bomber. And they do get them off the VP. Single cap now for the Orks. What is this? It's a Nob Squad capping. And they're going to finish it. There's a double cap for the Orks. 2v1 says Ural. Another great unclean one on the way for Redacted here. But there's 5 Nob Squads on the field. There's a nuke though from Redacted. That's a pretty damn good one. Ouch, that was painful. 2 Blastmaster Noise Marines in the mid. You need to set up, fellas. There you go. Terminators go for the cap. Rogal Dorns that have... Oh, they ran out of time. Still didn't get claws on these guys. Had the resources for it a few times. Not sure it would have made a massive difference. Would have frightened the knobs, that's for sure. But they're both level 4 for Annihilus. I mean, 4 Nob Squads and a Warboss. Even for Lightning Claw Terminators, that's asking quite a lot. Hell of a game. Really close at the end. We had a nuke right there. Awesome stuff. Level 10 Warboss, level 10 Kommando with his Mega Boom kit. Level 8 Mech went back to the big shoot at the end. Level 7 Chaos Lord, level 10 Sorcerer, and a level 9 Plague Champion. Chaos started off really strongly. Seemed to be cruising when it had all those tanks out, but the Orks got a handle on it, got all the AV flowing, and after the tanks went down, they kind of collapsed a little bit. They got little moments of glory afterwards. Great Unclean One did really well, just didn't have enough support. Lightning Claw Terminators were needed much earlier, didn't see them. But it was a hell of a fun game. Thanks to these guys for sorting out a Chaos faction war, and sending it in. They're really fun. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.